Hey, my good people. I'm Rob Pasker, anchor for the Young Realtist division of Namerab's YRDtv. So you know what time it is. It's Monday evening, and we're here coming live to you with on behalf of the Young Realtist division to give you some of the hottest information regarding our market and what's going on with it today. So if you don't know, let me get you familiar. NAREB is an acronym for the National Association of Real Estate Brokers, which is the oldest and largest African American real estate trade association in the country, comprised of over 90 local chapters across 35 states. NAREB is the network of Black real estate professionals. The Young Realtist division of NAREB was founded in 1996 with the mission of redefining the real estate culture for tomorrow's leaders by empowering the youth and communities through wealth building, career exposure, mentorship, professional development, and leadership training. With YRD TV, we're excited to have the opportunity to provide unique programming that will highlight and celebrate relevant information and policies regarding real life stories surrounding Black real estate in the United States. So this is a movement. What we're doing with the Young Realtors division is we're injecting energy into the National Association of Real Estate Brokers. We're bringing new leaders to the forefront, and we're helping them elevate, into their passions and the different places within NAREB where we can grow and make not only NAREB a better organization and make our markets a better place to do business and have more success, but just make the whole country as a whole a better place to live and reside and, take it to another level for ourselves and for our families. So with that being said, tonight's a very special episode. We have with us a guest. He's on our executive board for Young Realtors Division National. He has been in the real estate business for over 17 years. He serves as the third vice president of the California Association of Real Estate Brokers. I'm going to bring on my brother from another mother, our chaplain, Mr. Clinton James. What's going on, bro?
Yes. Thank you very much, Rob. Thank you very much. I love the energy, man. We got to always bring that energy. That energy is important. You said it in the beginning. So, yes, as Rob said, man.
If not us, then who?
Yes, that's true. That is true. And I do appreciate you having me here on YRD TV. It's long overdue. It's about time. It's time. It's time we get this done. We got to get this done today.
It's the first, but it won't be the last. That's for sure. So we got some people. Y'all see y'all rocking with us. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube. We got Amani Bro Smith, our secretary, in the building right now. If you're watching, give us the comments because we like reciprocity. We like the energy. If you have questions for Mr. James, ask him. It's only gonna make this better. But like I said, brother, I appreciate you. For those that don't know, I met Clinton at the National Association of Real Estate Brokers National Convention in 2019 in Miami. And if I'm not mistaken, was that your first national convention as well?
Yes, sir. That was a moment, man. That was an amazing moment. I mean, if you want me to dive into it, that conference was my first year after joining NAREB. So after joining NAREB, that was my first midwinter conference and in Miami. And I tell you, I was just like blown away, not only blown away, but inspired. And I was like sold on NAREB at that moment, just to see all the people that look like me doing this on a high level, So that was definitely inspiring. Not only inspiring, but I met you, dude.
Yeah, we clicked. It was my first time at a national event, and it was your first time. He was a cool dude. He was a cool guy, man. He was out there. He had the jean jacket with the polos. I'm like, who is this guy? And he still keeps it fresh. It's my brother.
Oh man.
We got a question from Amy McCoy, which goes into my first question. My first question is always, what brought you to NAREB, and what does being a realtist mean to you?
What brought me to NAREB? I mean, number one, I was looking for an opportunity to network with people because I live in for the past maybe since '98, and I got into real estate in 2004. Now, in 2004, San Diego that's when real estate was pretty much booming, and across the nation. But in San Diego, it was at a high level. And in operating in real estate, learning about real estate, I ran into pockets of people who look like me. And I was asked when I went to our chapter, our SDR chapter with the San Diego Association of Real Estate, was the chapter associated with National Association of Real Estate of Realtors. Is there any Black associations? And I remember I was directed to NAREB, NAREB San Diego chapter. So I remember I attended a meeting, and that was way after, like in 2013. I'm sorry, attended a meeting in 2013. And I remember one of the presenters at that meeting was talking about how she was one of the top realtors in the REO market. And that was one of the things that I was like blown away, because I'm like, where did she come from? You know, like, she looks like me. She's performing at a high level. I need to actually learn from her. So I remember that's how I actually got connected with NAREB San Diego, just NAREB in general. But that's how I joined NAREB, was actually, and I was like, that day I actually joined. I was like, I'm not even going to hold back or wait. I'm just joining this organization because I know I can benefit, but I can also benefit my community. You know, what we do in the community is amazing in terms of even educating our community about real estate and how it impacts us in building Black wealth. I always tell people, man, NAREB has been on the forefront of building Black wealth since 1947. It's now become a tagline for a lot of people, but we have been on that forefront for a while now. So we have a lot to do, and we have a lot to give, you know, and we have a lot to teach everybody out there who's interested in real estate and how we can actually benefit our community.
100%. That's the realest. You said we're not new to this. We're true to this. You know,
right. Yes, sir.
Since 1947. So how long were you in the business before you found NAREB?
From 2004 to 2013. So I went through that called the boiler room in 2009. You know, that's when the first crash happened. And after the first crash was when you find that our community was affected the most, you know, with in terms of real estate. You'll find that with the predatory lending, and then we had a lot of people who were uninformed in our community were uninformed about the ARM loans, the subprime loans too. But we saw that we were affected, and that's where I saw NAREB actually really doing a service to our community, which they were helping people keep their homes. If you talk about people in the organization who are actually on the forefront trying to help a lot of our community members try to save their homes from being foreclosed. That's one of the meetings the first meeting I attended was one of the discussions that really got me, and how in depth in studying the laws and the different policies that we were able to help a lot of people actually save their homes in our community too.
I heard that. So it sounds like you've been in the business for a little minute, 17 years. You said about 2003, 2004.
Yes.
So you survived the crash, and now we're in this historic market now. How do you characterize the market that we're in now with 17 years of experience with the different types of markets you've seen? How would you characterize the market that we're in right now?
I mean, there's a market of opportunity. You know, I mean, unfortunately, it's not this. This is just not a positive thing. But being after 2009, it caused a lot of people to rethink how they do the business, and it's including myself. You know, I remember I left the market around like 2000 and I'd say 10, and I went back to school after I graduated school 3 in 2013. I got back in as a broker, an independent broker, started my own company, but I had to relearn a lot of things. Now, I would say this market, the opportunity is number one, is we have to contrast 2009 and 2022. Right now, we don't have anybody who's upside down in the homes. Like right now, most of the homes have equity and value in it. So when you look at this market right now compared to 2009, the crash, we still see the opportunity. I had a discussion with someone about the whole interest rate, because everybody's looking at the interest rate. It's going up. It's affecting everything because the cost of money has gone up. In 2020, it was easy for you to actually do a refinance or get qualified on a loan, but now it's a little bit tougher, right? But I tell buyers, because we see a lot of, we hear in the talk in the rumblings of a lot of buyers falling out of the market. But one of the things I want to say is that right now, yes, rates are high, rates went up, but then we have inflation, right? So if you really were to compare inflation and the interest rate, the interest rate was still operating at a negative compared to the price jump, the prices. So it's still a good time to buy, when you look at how much we are still spending, because the only thing that really is affecting us right now as consumers is consumer debt, right? So real estate is still has that momentum. Now, what we're going to see the difference though, is what we're going to see is that number one, we have to go back to the fundamentals of real estate. It's not going to be like 2020 where you can just put a home on the market $100,000 above asking and get 20 offers. You have to actually do the work. You have to understand that number one, you have to get the value. You have to evaluate your homes based upon comps in the area. You have to do the right evaluations, not based upon emotions anymore. The second thing is that with buyers, we have to teach them how that real estate is now an investment. We don't have much inventory because of the cost of homes right now, and then we have the cost of building new homes that went up because of inflation. Inventory is not going to be something that is going to be back at any time. Right now in the country, we have 50% of all our inventory in this country is it was built after 1970. So when you look at that, we have a market now where there's opportunities for you to actually go in and invest in a home. And you might not get the home you want, but you can get a home that you can improve on and add value to. So it's a difference of looking at it. I think there's still a great opportunity for us in this market. It's a little bit of a tough market, I would say, but I mean, you have to look at where the opportunity lies and go after it.
Absolutely. Now, I would agree. It's tough, especially if you're talking about buyers. This inventory issue is an issue that's not going anywhere anytime soon, especially when you look at the price of development, the cost of materials has gone up. And then with the cost going up, does it even make sense for developers to develop affordable housing? If I can go develop $600,000-$700,000 houses, why would I go develop $150,000-$200,000 houses?
Exactly.
It's going to be that big of a difference. It's an unfortunate thing. I like what you said about it's about framing the mindset, framing this purchase as an investment. Yeah, it's about having a home that you can live in and make your own, but it's also think long term. Think about the investment side of it. When you purchase a property, that's going to be appreciation. If you purchase in the right neighborhood, heaven forbid a market crash. You get the tax advantages, you get the stabilization of payment. So it is an investment. I think, especially if you're working with buyers in this market, a big part of working with buyers right now is framing the buyer's mindset, because this market is not for the weak.
No, it's not. It's not.
And as realtors, that's what we do. As realtors, of course, we work with sellers. We list to last, because we know as realtors, we know that's how we last in this business in working with sellers. But dealing with our motto of building Black wealth, that means putting Black people in homes. What are some tips and strategies you have for realtors that are working with buyers in this market?
Yeah, well, working with buyers right now is you're seeing that there's a lot of uncertainty. A lot of uncertainty with buyers. They are very skittish about the market right now. One of the things is that I always say when you're reframing as an investment and you talk about investment, you have to also talk about the risk, right? So there is risk in actually investing in any asset. Real estate is still one of the safest investments right now. For buyers, one of the things you want to do is set realistic expectations for them. A lot of them are not going to get their dream home, and also separate the needs from the wants. A lot of them want a certain square footage. They want a certain amount of bedrooms, and they want like all these things. But at the same time, you got to now determine what do they need. What are the needs that they really want? What the needs that they have that are available for them. So you have to do some reframing, you have to do some educating with your buyers. Also creative financing. This is the time where we're going to see a lot of creative financing. When you talk about seller financing, that's something that we're going to see some too, because a lot of the properties have value in it, right? So I would say you can't be afraid to approach a seller and ask about seller financing, right? Then you're going to have, I think you got to get very creative in terms of, number one, also combining assets or combining income. One of the things that you'll find is that a lot of buyers tend to want to go it alone, right? They are all scared to actually ask someone they know, family members, to actually come in on this deal. Now, if you reframe it as an investment, it's more palatable, right? To actually ask someone to actually partner, not own a home with you, but partner with you on this investment. So I think the reframing of it is going to be important for us moving forward. Then there's a lot of programs that I see the banks are coming up with, a lot of programs that are helping buyers right now. My experience just recently is that I helped my cousin purchase a home in Atlanta. She sold and bought a home, but she also used the cash buying program option on the front end, and on the back end, the financing option. So these are options. The banks, again, very creative to really make it more competitive for buyers. So you have to educate yourself. You have to really educate yourself about these programs that are out there, and some of the grants that are out there to help buyers. But those are the four things that I think are the major things that I see we're going to have to really try to push with our buyers, is because the reframing and also changing the narrative about real estate is going to be dependent upon us, especially us in our community, because we see that we're being affected the most, because we're seeing that, number one, buyers in our community are starting to fall out of the market. So definitely we need to push those subjects, and also make sure we reframe the way real estate is bought and sold.
Absolutely, 100%. So we talked about the buyers, but let's talk about on the flip side. If I'm a firm believer, if you want to build a sustainable business, no matter what industry, you have to look at the need, what are the issues, and then create a sustainable solution for that issue. And if you can find that sustainable, if you can find a solution for that issue and sustain that solution, that will lead to long-lasting success in your business. And the issue that we're having in the real estate market right now is the lack of inventory. So what's your advice for realtists out here in regards to creating inventory in today's market?
Yeah, that's a layered question. And creating inventory now, the way that inventory is created is more supply and demand. Right now, as I said, when we look at it, man, it's like half the inventory, 50% of the inventory in the country alone was built in 1970. So when we're looking at since 1970 to now, there's over like 3 generations of people that have already passed. Not passed, but are living right now. We're not talking about before 1970. So now we seen that 3 generations of people are still having to equally share a limited amount of inventory. Now there is ways in which we can create inventory. I think what we're going to have to do is look at commercial or multi-properties as a way to do that. One of the things I would say is that with this market right now, and the opportunity in multi-property is huge. A lot of people are not looking at that. Why? Is because with multi-properties, it's a safer investment than any other asset right now, because you're looking at projected incomes. Right, rents are high, right? So when you look at projected income based upon the rents right now that being paid in the market, it's the highest it's ever been right now, because the cost of everything is up, right? So rents it's automatically going to increase too. Now with multi-properties, we see that there is a shift right now, because if you look at the stock market is not a lagging indicator of the economy. Just keep that in mind. It's a leading indicator, right? So the leading indicator is showing us where the economy is actually going, right? So right now we're seeing that the stock market is not performing at its best. So what we're seeing is a shift now. A lot of people who have money in the stock market, who hedge their money in the stock market, are moving into safer bets like multi-properties, multi-units, commercial real estate. So this is some of the ways I think we can, in our community, is to capitalize on that movement right now. We can buy commercial units and create inventory on our own. Like right now, you'll see that commercial properties are being overbid, and there are multiple offers in commercial properties right now, right? So with that, we know that in our community there is commercial properties, all right, and there's multi-units. We need to be able to actually capitalize on that and then create our own inventory based on that. The second thing is ADUs. I know there's a huge ADU movement where people are adding additional dwelling units onto their properties. Right now, that movement is kind of slowed down, but it's still opportunities to do that because everybody wants to put an ADU in if they have the room and the setbacks to do it. I think that's an opportunity for us if we have real estate and we have properties to get that to create our own inventory among us too. So those are the two ways I can think of right now where we can create our own inventory. But I think that I know there's many more creative ways in terms of doing it that's out there. So let us know what type of opportunities to create our inventory out there, Tim.
Absolutely. I mean, I think ultimately, if at the top, the crown of the real estate industry is development, and I think as a realtist, a lot of us are looking to get into the real estate development space. And I mean, that's one of the goals of NAREB is to get realtists into other areas in real estate outside of just being agents, outside of just being brokers. You know, we want to be developers, we want to be appraisals, property managers, construction, contracting, but that development piece, that's a big piece.
That's golden. That is golden. And no longer is there barriers to entry for us to get into those areas. You know, we should be definitely capitalizing on that, the opportunity to get into development, because that changes a lot of communities too.
Absolutely. Gentrification is a thing, but what do you call it when we redevelop our own areas? Would you still consider that gentrification?
I would say that's capitalism. we just all victims of it. But at the same time, there is gentrification is an issue we really need to pay attention to. I think what gentrification is today is more us being pushed out of our community than we not being able to capitalize on the redevelopment of it. So right now you'll see, and gentrification there's a bad side and a good side, right? So I mean, when you have gentrification, prices go up. Yes, it does, but it also increases the value of properties in the neighborhood. So if you are living in a community where gentrification is happening, it does have some positive effects. Now, what we have to guard against is in a lot of the investors coming in. Because right now with investors, they come with a lot of with cash, right? So it's always appealing for sellers to sell to investors with cash offers. We now and that's where the problem happens, where they buy multiple properties all at once, and they create this filter or this barrier to entry for people who are live in the community to actually be able to buy the property. So that's where we got to be careful of with gentrification. But there's some good and some bad. I think right now we are on the cusp where we can definitely take advantage of it. You know, and gentrification is, when we say gentrification, there's I'm hearing all these terms of gentrification right now: reverse gentrification and there's gentrification. So I think we should definitely be the guards to our community when it comes to that. We should be able to actually purchase in our communities, redevelop our communities, and benefit from the communities we pay taxes to over so many years to come to that point, you know. So
absolutely. So with all the knowledge that you have, you know the different levers and pulleys in regards to the real estate market. Where do you see the real estate market headed, Clinton?
Man, you know what? I tell people, you know, if if I got $1 for everybody who was predicting, asking me if the market's going to crash, I would retire right now. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, too, the market, where the market's going, everybody is looking for that crash, and I'll tell you, it's not going to happen anytime soon, right? So let's be honest. Most real estate professionals will tell you, honestly, it's not. We're not going to see a crash like in 2009. The market is now actually on it's correcting itself, right? So right now things are getting back into balance. Like, I'm a Libra, I love that balance, you know. So things are now getting back into balance where you'll find that no longer is a seller going to say no to repair request for repairs, right? No longer is a seller going to say take it as is, or we'll just take the next offer right behind you. No longer a seller is going to be getting multiple offers when they put it above the market value, right? So now there's room for us to work and negotiate, right? So I think that I don't see prices dropping anytime soon, right? Because at the same time too, we have a lot of people with equity in their properties, you know, and because of 2020, a lot of people were able to pull to capitalize on the low cost of money and actually leverage that. So I don't see that happening anytime soon. But where the market's going, I think it's going to be back into the balance where we have to do the fundamentals in this business, like build the relationships, work the CRMs, do the door knocking, the cold calling. All that's going to be back on track where people are not going to be calling you to sell their home. You got to reach out to them. So it's going to be back to where real estate is going to be almost like, I'll say almost like how it used to be back 9 to 5, you know? So yeah, I mean, there's opportunities out there. I think the market is going to settle out, and that's going to come this year. I don't see a crash coming. I don't see prices dropping, and I don't see where there's going to be a repeat of 2009 in real estate. That is. So yeah, it's still a good time, and I think the market is strong and it's healthy right now.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, I would agree with you. I don't think we don't have enough inventory for there to be a crash. You know, because even if they said there would be a crash back with the moratorium, with
right,
you know, with
right.
COVID and whatnot, but it's one of those things. Even if we lost a third of home buyers in America, there's still not enough inventory to go around. So,
true.
You know,
and anybody's waiting on that crash. I mean, they missed out. I would say you missed out. The economy right now is worse than it was in 2009. Just keep that in mind. The economy in itself, right? So when we look at that and we don't see it affecting home values, we have to kind of understand that they put a lot of fail safes and policies in place after 2009. So just to prevent that from happening, I think we really need to look at more is, number one, helping our community with consumer debt. Right. Right now, I know NAREB has a couple of initiatives that I think is going to be pivotal in 2022 and forward, which is, number one, is the student loan initiative, where we are looking at our community and saying that yes, we are burdened by student loan debts when it comes to home ownership. That's one of the things that we're seeing we're seeing predicted right now by a lot of economists is that consumer debt is at its highest. So consumer debt is at its highest, and then we're just starting to get out of debt and student loan debt. It definitely is going to affect us. So we need to be on the forefront of that, because that's what I think is going to really affect us purchasing homes. And those initiatives that we started, it's kind of like definitely going to be needed for us to push that forward. So I mean, so one of the things about it is that with the home ownership in our community, I think it's once we pay attention to those things, right now we see that credit is a big thing too, where a lot of people's credit we started seeing it improve, right? Because now we became very educated about credit, even start businesses in credit. So now we just need to keep that momentum and keep it safe, you know, because that's what's going to affect us the most, is that when the consumer loans start calling, that's when it affects everything from our credit to our income.
100%. So it sounds like you got a really good grip on what's going on. With the
I
people,
try, man. I try.
with the market. I know that you're a brain, man, and you study the numbers. You know what's going on. So with that being said, for a realtist that's looking to elevate their business, elevate their career, and take it to another level, what advice would you give to someone that's looking to elevate right now?
Yeah, like Drake said, elevate, man. But one of the things is with our business is that we see that we are on a cusp right now where we're discovering a lot of about who we are, right, and the power we have. One of the things that I see the equality, the equalization in just among all of us is the information that we have access to that we didn't have before, right? So with NAREB, I love NAREB because of the information that we get and is dispersed to us. Like the last convention I went to, I was blown away by two things: was receiverships. Right. We had a great workshop on receiverships, which is something that's not even heard in our community, but very, very prevalent in our community. Right. So just understanding that made me understand that there's certain aspects of real estate that, yes, where that's being the information is there for us to take advantage of. Then the second thing was business credit and how simple it is for us to build our business credit working in this industry. And then there's also things that I would say, just as realtors, is number one is we got to look at one of the things that is passive income or multiple streams of income. I think I'm seeing a lot of my realtors brothers and sisters. They're owning different companies. Like they're owning different companies. Some of them are attached to real estate, and some of them are outside of real estate. One of the things that is inspiring to me is that is something that I think is definitely we should all mimic, right? So because although real estate has its ups and downs, there's so many different things that we can do in real estate that can actually create different streams of income for us, So, but it's just to see people taking with the mindset of real estate and the realtist mindset and creating businesses out of business and applying to other businesses and finding success in it, but still staying within the real estate because they know the impact that we do in real estate and we focus in our communities in real estate is making. So yeah, I mean, as realtors, that's where I see that's how strong I think we're going to be, and that's how strong I think we're going to build our communities moving forward.
Absolutely. So double down in the business, but also diversify the income because we are business owners.
That's right. That is right.
The mentality that it takes to be successful in the business is something that we can duplicate in other industries and create systems to be successful. So that's all right. Good stuff, man. You've been dropping some gems. I hope y'all picking them up. Because Brother James here,
Yeah, appreciate it, man.
When asked to speak, he drops it, but he's a quiet man. I think so.
Yeah. I try to stay mellow, saying behind the scenes, I'm an observer, I'll be watching.
Absolutely, but that's the beauty of it. You watch and you listen, and you take it in, and you break it down, and you analyze, and you put it back together and spit it back out, and it's something that's just so beautiful, man. So we appreciate you coming and sharing with us. We've been on here for a minute, but that's how it goes when we connect.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. That's a question for the people, man. What does YRD mean to you?
I was waiting for this question, man. YRD. Yes, YRD means what it means to me. Now, I'll tell you this. YRD is a movement. When I joined NAREB, I heard of YRD. I saw YRD. It wasn't that accessible, but now we have made it very accessible to everyone. This new YRD movement that's happening right now. It's amazing from what I'm seeing and what our president, Tamisha Wells, is doing to actually push the organization forward. Being part of YRD, I've seen that number one, we are a group of vibrant people, who bring a lot of energy to anything that we do. If you look at the members, even the executive team, you look at from all the directors down to even me, the chaplain. I see a lot of heavy hitters, and I learn from each one of them. Now, as I said, the goal for YRD and for me is to see YRD really grow into something that impacts not only future generations, but generations to come. So I know right now we are focused on really impacting the youth, you know, because we are seeing that in real estate, there is a little bit of a gap where a lot of people think, especially the younger generation, think that real estate is just about buying and selling real estate, which is brokers, agents. They might not know that you can become a banker, you can become a mortgage agent, you can become an appraiser, you can even become a title escrow owner. There's so many different avenues in real estate that we're underrepresented in. And I think what YRD is doing in terms of reaching out to the youth and teaching them that and exposing them to that, I think it's going to benefit real estate in our community for the future. But so YRD is a movement that you'll definitely need to check out. I mean, as I said, tomorrow is going to be and I know Rob is going to have more about it, but we're going to have a heavy hitter coming on tomorrow for our YRD membership meeting. So yeah, definitely check it out.
100%, no doubt. And you said it, man. I'm gonna just go ahead and tell them. We have Christina Matthews, the Airbnb. She's coming tomorrow for our general body meeting, and she's going to drop a lot of game on what we can do as realtors to make money at Airbnb. And if you don't know, the short-term rental market is a multi-billion-dollar market, and this is something that's exploded over the last 5 years. So, of course, we want to make sure as YRD, we want to make sure that our members are at the forefront of information, at the cusp of evolution and this elevation. So be there, be square, hit the link in the bio, register. If you're not a member, become a member. Become a member and put your profile together on the website. Put yourself on the map, because if there's a realtist looking for somebody to give a referral to in San Diego, you better believe Brother James's name is going to be right there when they look on the map. And so you want to be there. And
yes, sir.
Don't be square, be there. Yes, sir. Hey, Brother James, you got anything else for the people before we head out?
Yeah, man, I just appreciate the opportunity to be on this platform. This is a great thing that you're doing here. YRDtv, you know, it's a platform that's reaching a lot of people. I always go back and review some of the interviews because I always pick up some gems from all the interviews that I've seen. So I mean, you're seeing the opportunity here with the Realtist Nation and with YRD and NAREB, because we stand on the shoulders of giants, man. I mean, one of the things about it with YRD is that I appreciate the people who did it before us, you know, and what they established. So I mean, if you're not a member of NAREB, man, this is something that you really need to check out. You really need to get involved too, and I'm definitely looking forward to the NAREB convention in August. You know, that's our 75th anniversary, man. So 75 years, man. That's a celebration right there. So I'm looking forward to that.
Absolutely. 75 in Tampa is going to be hot. The weather's going to be hot. The conference is going to be hot. The spirits are going to be hot. It's going down. Yes. I'm looking forward to it. Hey, man, Brother Clinton, I appreciate you. We appreciate you for coming, and this won't be the last time, man. We'll do it again soon, all right?
Yes, I'm looking forward to it, man. Appreciate it, Rob.
Absolutely. Well, hey, I appreciate you all for watching. We'll be back here next week, Monday, but also tap into the general body tomorrow. You want to be there. Peace.
Peace.